talked last week about, and this is regard to the T'Challa erasure comment, right? So we've had a lot, and I want to thank all of you guys out there that have been, watching all of our clips on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. You guys have been giving us great content to reply to and respond to. But a couple of things that when we put out the clip about the T'Challa erasure thing, we got a lot of very interesting comments, and people were bringing up some pretty good points. One of them is that they were contesting the whole point about T'Challa's not being erased. They don't necessarily agree with your opinion about T'Challa, appears to be getting erased. Because one of the commenters named Zia said they are not erasing him. People claim they're ready for a new one, Black Panther, until they get one, and then y'all try and measure him to Chadwick. Y'all are gonna not have. First of all, let me finish.
That ain't never been my. Let me finish.
Chadwick, y'all are going to not have the movie do well because some are still stuck on Chad, and it all has to make sense.
So then he not talking to me. Because if anybody's talking to me, you can't never come to me talking about the motherfucking Chadwick.
There's your Megatron right there.
The books. So you tell what's his name?
What's up, man?
Zia. It's a young lady.
Well, Zia, first of all, grab a book or play a game or something. Because Zia, I would never listen. Recast T'Challa, and here I fucking am. But listen, there's several Black talented actors that they could get to use him. I'm not referring to the erasure of T'Challa from the cinema, because T'Challa has been around for 30 years, long before Chadwick existed in anybody's mind. In the books, and somewhat in games, he's not being valued and he's not being respected like the character he is and like the character he once was. And currently, from a book standpoint, that is what that's what I'm referring to. As far as the MCU goes, recast him.
Yeah.
And again, I'd be the first in line.
Okay.
So, no.
let me pivot, because I think there's another point to bring up in this discussion. And part of the reason that we needed to consider the reason why he was not being recast. Some of this has to do, I feel, with Ryan Coogler and the relationship with Ryan Coogler, right? As we know now, after Sinners has become a big breakout hit for Warner Brothers, and he signed a ridiculous landmark deal.
Breakout hit, which tripled its money, unlike Captain America: Brave New World. But carry on, please.
Always trying to derail the conversation with some other nonsense. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that, what do you say to the notion that perhaps the reason why Wakanda Forever was allowed to be what it is because it was meant to appease Ryan Coogler, to keep him in house, right? Okay. Because hypothetically speaking, not that I disagree with the recast T'Challa.
We're talking business,
because I think this is purely from a business perspective. You're Kevin Feige, and you view Black Panther as the gold mine that we think it is, an untapped gold mine. But you have the death of the star, the star's director, almost like a brother to him, has great affinity for him. He's hurting, he's mourning. He says he wants to make a movie, but he wants to make it as a tribute to his late friend. You're Kevin Feige, you're at a crossroads. Do you let him make this movie and essentially shelf T'Challa, the character, for a certain amount of years? Or do you recast T'Challa and run the risk of Ryan Coogler saying, well, if you do this, I'm out the door. I'm closing the door to y'all. We'll never work again.
For one, I'm pretty sure there's a contract that you had to do at least 2 movies. And I guarantee you don't have money to box with me, Ryan. 1, 2.
So you would take that hardcore stance?
It's not a hardcore stance. Okay. The movie's called, it's the Black Panther. If you don't have a Black Panther, now granted, in the books they use his sister, but everything was fast forwarded with the unfortunate passing of Chadwick. But you have to keep the party going.
I don't disagree,
because it's not about Ryan, it's not about Chadwick, it's about the people. That movie made $1 billion because of the culture.
Yeah.
So then now, if you try to continue to milk the culture without the person they're there for, hence why it got the reviews that it got, which was kind of, because now you're forcing Namor on them, you're forcing Shuri on them, you're forcing Ironheart on them. Where is Chadwick? Well, not Chadwick. Where is T'Challa? That is who the people want. It is T'Challa. That was who they fell in love with during the Civil War and the other movies, the Black Panther. So then if now you've allowed this man to put his feelings, over the billions of hundreds of thousands of people who were fans of that film.
Yeah.
No, just like in the decline, it's about the money.
Okay.
And then
I hear
you had one made $1 billion, and the other one, how much did the other one make?
About 8-10.
That's it.
But on what you're saying, because I agree with what I think should have happened, but what did not happen.
Yeah.
I really do think that because it was a conversation that we had with Preem off camera that Feige did that to appease Coogler.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, he's good. He's a great director.
Everything he touches is kind of like
100%.
Yeah.
What you call it. So he probably did that to keep him on board. He might have been under contract for the 2 movies.
But
Maybe
after
not.
that contract was up.
Yeah, and if you want him to do more, if you want to
do like X-Men or something like that, that door will be
there's
closed.
a possibility that they did that to appease Coogler, because I'm pretty sure it was his idea to do
Which
that.
is wild, though, for somebody to be so for the culture to then kind of kneecap the culture to a degree.
Maybe they got a plan. Maybe there's a plan.
Well, no, they had a plan. It was that
It
kid.
was the son. Yes.
supposedly.
Yeah, but then now that's not T'Challa, even though it is. But it's not.
Even though it is, but
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It is, but it is.
It's
right.
new.
So
No, I
then
hear
now,
that, yeah.
what do we do? We go in the universe, and now he's 30. Then the next movie.
I mean, it's only been what
he
3
can go
years.
Through, he can go through the Lionel stage.
Yeah, you know what I
maybe,
mean.
No,
maybe that's gonna happen.
Here's what they could have done. Like, you read the comic books. There was one comic book where T'Challa was in a coma.
Yeah, because he got punched in the head by Iron Fist.
And that's what I thought they were going to do with Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, they could have did that, and then put him on the show.
They're not reading the books.
Yeah,
they don't know.
I
I'm
know,
telling you,
I
maybe
know.
they read the books, but again, I think they did it to appease.
Which is
Ryan
something I never thought of. Which to me is still, that's kind of worse.
But you can understand it, right?
No, because
Okay.
it's not. Just like when we had the conversation in regards to The Last of Us, I'm not putting one person over another million people. That's not how it's worked. That's not how business is ran. Because now you have a movie that people didn't necessarily care for, and I would imagine that it made that 8-10 because people didn't know what they were going to see. If people knew what they were going to see, it probably would have made 475.
No, what I think it is it made that much because everybody that went to go see the first one went to go see the second one, but
Exactly.
they didn't go see it again because a lot of people went to go see the first one multiple times.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, because now you're playing in our face.
Yeah.
Exactly.
First of all, and then you kill his mother off. What are we doing here?
Yeah, man.
I wish I could tell you.
And she got robbed of that Oscar. She should have won that
I think
boy.
she should have definitely won.
She
Like,
should have
what's
won that boy.
But it is movies. It
For
is
sure,
fiction.
for sure.
They could do a multitude of things.
100%.
They could 100% say that movie was another universe.
They could.
What you call it. They could 100% do that.
They
easily.
could.
But I doubt if they do that.
Okay.
There you go right there.
Marcus 664 said, well, Doomsday and Secret Wars is a way to recast the Black Panther. Which, again, we know that's probably what they're going to do.
Because
right?
they probably realize,
Right.
like, damn.
They know they can't keep T'Challa on the shelf forever. They got to bring him back.
Yeah.
And yes, we knew this is where they probably were going to do it. But
And
that's
then
beside the point.
And then hold the phone again, real
Yeah,
quick. How
yeah.
many black male characters are there in Marvel?
Black
MCU
male characters?
Yeah, so like Goliath. I know you've got Black Goliath.
like lead hero types,
Period,
right?
yeah.
It's really T'Challa and Sam. That's it.
So even more
Miles,
reason.
Miles now too.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah.
What about Luke?
Huh? Oh, Luke Cage. Yeah, Luke Cage too. Okay.
Blade.
But
Blade.
but who's close to his level?
Nobody.
So now,
Nobody.
so,
Not
so,
T'Challa.
Nobody.
so that's
No.
well, Blue Marvel.
Blue Marvel.
Blue Marvel ain't no Black Panther.
Well, I mean,
Come on now.
No, Blue Marvel would probably
Blue Marvel is
beat
a
the brakes off of
powerhouse.
everybody.
No, he's a. No. I thought you were talking about like popularity.
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize.
That's different.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Popularity?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
in that regard,
Yes.
you fucking recast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Even
I
just
agree.
for the culture. Like
Right.
I get that was your friend.
Yes.
I get y'all bonded. I truly do respect it.
Right. Yeah.
But he's not bigger than the people. Nobody will ever be bigger than the people.
Right. So one of